Guys, little update on actual something farm worthy maybe. Not really farming, but this is my duck prosciutto. I actually made quite a bit of it this year. I've already eaten quite a bit of it. This is just air dried over time. Hung it out in my ceiling in my shop. And I wish I could get a better picture of it. This doesn't really do it justice, but absolutely turned out awesome. So once again, duck prosciutto, and then I'll show you what I'm working on now. These guys are two Menglista hams, and I'm trying a bit of an experiment with these. These have been in salt for 3.5 weeks until they've lost the appropriate weight. And I'm getting ready to hang these today, so I have washed the salt off. Now I'm drying them. But what I'm going to try is, typically with European hams, I don't think that you do this step, but I'm going to try it. Is I got this mold culture, and I'm going to mix up some of this. And you mix this up with water. Comes with the instructions on there. But the purpose of this is to give you a good type of mold in the hopes that bad mold won't take hold. Now, when I did those duck prosciuttos, I was almost a little disappointed because I got no mold, and I do want some mold. I just want good mold. So mold it does a lot for the flavoring. So what I'm going to do is, before I wrap these hams and hang them, I am going to mix up some of that mold and coat the entire surface, both sides. Then I'm going to wrap these in cheesecloth, not too thick. The goal is to get them to, you want them to dry up and not too fast. And this is probably, the reason I didn't really want to make a video on this is, I mean, these are going to hang for at least a year, so it's kind of a long-term experiment. And I guess the experiment part is painting this mold on there. I haven't tried that, so there again, these are just gonna cure, air dry, and give it a shot. Alright guys, there's our mold culture. I've got it in 2 cups of water, warm water, and it's supposed to sit in there for 12 hours, and then I'll add it to another 2 cups of water and get it either in a spray bottle or just kind of paint it on and get it in all the nooks and crannies and completely coat these 2 hams with that mold, and then I'll get it wrapped in that cloth, tied up and hanging. So I'll show you that when I get that far. Alright guys, I just sprayed these hams with my culture, and I'm going to let them air dry. I really don't want to wipe them off, so I'm just going to let them air dry, and then we will get them in cloth and tied up and hanging. Alright guys, got these 2 hams tied up, wrapped. We're going to go hang them out in the shop. It's the coldest place I can find. Alright guys, this will conclude this video. It's not really obviously a how-to video. Just kind of wanted to introduce what I am dabbling in here on the homestead, because I really don't do homestead related videos, turns out. But I've really gotten into dabbling with dry aged curing of meat. I did that duck prosciutto. Turned out very well. And we're trying these 2 hams, so very basic process that I'm using. And you know, if you want information, there's plenty of sites that do that. I just did these. I put them in salt until they lost a certain percentage. I didn't know what I was going to do with these hams, so originally I didn't take the hair or the hoof off, because next time I do this, I'm going to dunk the pig in hot water, remove the hair. It also helps to sanitize it. So for this time around, I took the skin off, And I took the hoof off because I wanted to give these every chance of turning out. So I didn't want any contamination, since I had not done, initially clean the hoof or the hair. So that's why they're done this way. And that's why they are wrapped, is because obviously took the skin off, which is a protected layer, but it also controls drying. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to watch closely, is drying. You don't want them to dry out too fast. You've got to control the air movement, humidity, everything you can. That's why they're hanging here. This environment so far is the closest appropriate environment that I have. So again, this is an experiment, and we'll test it. I'm not sure, about wrapping it how I did, because it's still, I think, my fear is drying too fast. So we'll try it. And also, I know with hams, I've never seen anybody do that. I know classically it's not done, but I did paint these up, as I mentioned, with a good mold, because I do actually want mold to form on these. I'd like to come out one day and find them just completely fuzzy white. So I'm just gonna post this, and it's more just about what I do behind the scenes on what I'm experimenting with on the homestead. There again, I'm not gonna jump in and do a how-to, because I'll leave that to people who actually have, know how to do it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll update you on the miserable failure or the success.